Hey, how you doing? My name is Mike. This is a Freight Broker TV video. How to become a successful freight broker part 3. Hold on. It seems like every time we come back from the opening, be it the Freight Broker TV video or the podcast video or whatever, I've always got a coffee cup in my hand. I enjoy my Colombian. I don't do all that foo-foo coffee like you get at Starbucks. I just want my Folgers Colombian. Sometimes you have to wonder if it's really Colombian. Folgers. Hey, Folgers, this is for you. Get consistent. Okay? And a lot of you may be noticing, too, with fuel prices and everything, things are going up. And if what you like, if you're noticing that the products you like are not actually going up in price, check the size, quantity. A lot of things are keeping the same price but giving you less. Yeah, Folgers did that back 14 years ago. I noticed it right off. You know, the cans went from this tall for whatever it was, $7 to this tall for $7. Anyway, it is what it is. Hey, my name is Mike. This is a Freight Broker TV video. The topic today is how to become a freight broker successful. Freight broker successful is the key word in that phrase. This is part 3. If you've missed the other 2, go back and watch them on YouTube. Of course, where you're seeing this. Matter of fact, we'll have a link to them at the end of this video. Should have anyway. Before we get into that, hey, if you got questions, I want to remind you every Saturday we do a live stream of the Freight Broker TV podcast. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Time, here on our YouTube channel. If you have a question, you can leave a question down below in the comments area. You can also email me direct at fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. Your question's going to be answered during the Saturday morning podcast. That's or the live stream, I should say. That's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're doing on Saturday mornings, and you can join us live. Skype, just find us on Skype using your Skype app. Oh, let me get over here and get that. FBTV, my moan. Yeah, it's because I'm old. But it's because my rotator cuff is trying to heal, but it's not there yet. Getting there, though. Now, anyway, you can find us on Skype. Leave us a question or Skype us. You can even call. Hey, if you want to do that, that's great. You'll hear yourself on our podcast. Or, yeah, the video podcast anyway. I am Mike. I'm the lead consultant for Taltoa. I do these podcasts, but you can also find me at Taltoa, TALTOA.com. Thinking about a career in transportation as a freight broker agent? Well, call me. Check us out. Check the website out. We also work with trucking companies as well. Taltoa, TALTOA.com. You can call me direct, 479-668-0838. All right. On with the countdown. I give it a 7, Mike, because it's got to get beat and it's easy to dance to. If you know what I'm referencing, well, welcome to my world. That's American Bandstand way back in the day. All right, we're up to part 3 of how to become a successful freight broker. Left off last time, pretty much you needed to make a decision, freight broker or freight broker agent. And we discussed that to a point. And if you watch any of our videos, you're going to hear me always, recommending start out as a freight broker agent. All right, well, how do you start out as a freight broker agent? Well, one good way to start, and we touched on this last time too, is get training. Now, at Taltoa, we will provide you the opportunity to enter our mentorship program after you train. So you can begin your operation as a freight broker agent. You'll be a freight broker agent. You're on 60% commission. Commission, of course, payable of the profit on the load. But you are a freight broker agent. It's just giving you the opportunity to begin your broker operation without having to go out and struggle trying to find a broker that will contract you to be an agent for their company, being brand new and all. You will find that Most brokers are going to want you to have experience. They're going to want you to have a book of business. So that's pretty much what the mentorship program allows you to do through Taltoa. Again, TALTOA.com. Check it out on the different packages. But maybe you're going to go it alone. Maybe you were trained by another organization or whatever. That's fine. You know, they each their own. You got to find a company to contract you. What do? Well, first thing you do is go to the different websites that are out there. You know, the Indeed.coms, Jubal.org, WowJobs.us, you know, places like that that are classifieds. You might even try Craigslist, but you got to find companies that are looking for broker agents. Now, just about every one of them will require that you have X amount of experience, and they will also require you have a book of business. You're going to find it's difficult to get in the door if all you have is training. I get calls all the time. Yeah, well, you know, what about a certificate? What about a diploma? Yeah. They're not real. I mean, they're real from the organization you got it from as far as that goes, but in the industry, they really don't mean a lot. You know, a broker's not going to go, oh, you've got a master certification as a freight broker. Nah, don't carry any weight at all. You know, the thing is, you've got to sell yourself. That, you know, as a freight broker, you're selling anyway. You've got to sell yourself to the company you wish to contract. Now, contact the company. My recommendation is find the company and don't mass contact everybody. Do one or two at a time. You know, because if you get out there and you start mass contacting everybody, you know, you're going to figure out that, hey, I did this wrong, but now you've burned your bridges. You can't go back and start contacting more people. See what I mean? So do it one or two at a time. Test the water. See what it's like. Remember, you're always selling yourself. And part of selling yourself as a broker agent, is asking the right questions, because that's what they're looking for too. You know, potential companies that might contract you, they want it to know that you have an idea what's going on in the industry. What kind of questions to ask them, what kind of, how many trucking companies do they work with? How many trucking companies do you all have, you know, in your approved carrier list? How quick do you pay a trucking company? Do you use a factoring company? You know, things of that. It shows you're knowledgeable of the industry. Now, another thing too, when you're talking to that freight brokerage, during the interview, find out what kind of support they're going to give you. You know, that's going to be pretty important. Now, as a new broker agent, you do not want to be bombarding that brokerage with newbie calls, you know, things that you should know. But on the other hand, you don't want to get yourself in trouble by making a promise you can't keep. See what I mean? So, you know, check with them, check on the support. Now, if you went through Taltoa, you've got a consulting period. So if you were in a situation like that, maybe you chose not to enter the mentorship program, but you had a broker to work with. If you didn't want to bother them with newbie questions and you were our client, by all means, you could pick up the phone and call us. And we would steer you in the correct direction. Commissions, what kind of commissions are they paying you? Standard commission for an agent, 60% of load net. Load net, difference between what the customer paid you and what you paid the truck. Bottom line, the profit on the load. I've kind of gone over this in the past. If somebody's offering to pay you a 40% commission, more times than not, you are not actually contracting to a broker, but a broker agent. You're becoming a sub-agent of that broker agent. 50%, I've seen it as low as 50% with a direct contract. I've also seen it as high as 75, 80%. I've told you this before, that usually if you got a contract paying that much, you've got to jump through all kinds of the hoops to be able to get to that commission level. Perks, what kind of perks are they going to offer you? Now, as a brand new broker agent, maybe, maybe not. Don't expect any perks, but you need to ask. And when I'm talking about perks, load boards, they're going to pay for a load board. They're going to pay for anything. They're going to help you out at all. If you've experienced, you got a book of business, yeah, it's pretty common that the broker's going to pay for your DAT, your truck stop, whatever load boards you may want to use. They're going to make available to you their TMS, make that available to you. So you got to find out what kind of perks. Find out how long it takes to get one of your customers approved. Bottom line, you'll find out that. Now that's going to come out in the orientation as well. Now, the broker-agent contract. Generally, if a broker says, well, we're going to send you over our agent packet, look it over, and we'll go from there. All right. Their broker-agent contract is going to be in that new hire package. Usually, if they're offering to send you this information, you're pretty much in the door. But check the contract. Make sure that broker-agent contract is good. And what I mean by good is, go back over and look at the videos we've put up about contracts in the past. Broker-agent contracts, agreements, and things. Your customers should remain your customers. When you leave that brokerage, maybe to move on to another broker or even to start your own brokerage, your customers should be able to go with you. You should be allowed to work your own customers. Another thing, too, is make sure there is not any type of a no-compete in that contract that would forbid you from working for another transportation company for X amount of time after you left that company. These are things you want to look for. I recommend going back and finding the video we did on the broker-agent agreements. Now, the orientation, I've seen orientations that lasted 4 or 5 days, and pretty much, just hour here, hour there, things like that. Because during orientation, especially if you're going to have access to the TMS, TMS is a transportation management system, fancy name for freight broker software. But if you're going to have access to that, all right, they're going to have to train you on it. And, that's one of those things that you can't make a mistake, so they're going to make sure you know what you're doing with the TMS. Now, if you're a client of Tautoa, I'll just throw this out there real quick. You do have the opportunity to start your initial training on a TMS. Now, there's hundreds of different TMSs out there. And even though they're different, they're going to be about the same. It's like a web browser. Once you learn how to work Google Chrome, you can figure out Explorer or Safari or whatever like that, because they all do the same thing. Same thing with TMS. Some just maybe have more bells and whistles than the others, but once you learn one, you can pretty much figure your way through the other. If you are a client of Tautoa, once you complete your essential training, if you'd like access to a TMS you can, play around with, just ask your consultant. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Orientation, once you complete orientation, by that time you're going to have all the information you need to be able to start your broker operation working under that broker's license. Now, never try to bluff your way through a question a customer may have or the broker may have. If you don't know, let them know you don't know. Be honest with them. That's going to go a long way. They much rather you be honest than try to bluff your way through it. Because once you start trying to bluff, you get caught, it's over. If they realize you really don't have a clue what you're talking about, game over. All right, very good. Okay, that's part 3, how to become a successful freight broker. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts of this series, go back and watch them. Part 1, Part 2, how to become a successful freight broker. All right, go have a good day. Unless, of course, you've made other plans, we will talk soon.